There is no field, either in engineering or other areas, that we have to say it's for female or male students. Any students, no matter what their gender is, can do anything that they want.
I knew that I was interested in being creative. I was interested in problem solving, and I was really interested in trying to do something good for the world. And I found that civil engineering kind of ticked all of those boxes.
My mom, she works for the Department of Transportation here in Oregon, and there was this Women in Engineering Transportation camp that was hosted by Oregon Tech. Came here for a week in the summer, and it was just such a great opportunity working with other women in transportation for a week. It was all young women. We got to build bridges and look at transportation systems and everything like that. And it really inspired me, and I knew I wanted to be at Oregon Tech because of the hands-on experience.
I think my experience as a woman in engineering has been interesting. I first started to notice when I was in my civil engineering program that there were probably 60 or 70 students in our program, and maybe 6 or 7 of us were female engineering students. And I think we naturally sort of clustered together and we formed our own community.
I was born and raised in Turkey. I really loved industrial engineering, and I'm glad that I was able to go and pursue that field. What makes Oregon Tech different compared to the other places that I've been? Here, I think students and faculty are more engaged, and they are working closely together. They are not just teacher and students, they are friends.
I came to Oregon Tech because I recognize that one of our greatest strengths is the high quality instruction that we provide. We prepare our students for industry by giving them really hands-on applied experience in our programs and by forming really awesome relationships with our students.
Having a personal relationship with my professors has really allowed me to get better resources, and I think more real-world experience. Because of those connections, I'm able to then bring that into industry as well. I've had a lot of great opportunities already of women in transportation, working closely with them, and then my graduate research as well is working with asphalt and finding women who are similar of thinking about asphalt. It's just a really cool connection in order to share ideas on that perspective.
I love working with machines all day, every day. I would say additive manufacturing just as a whole is a really cool technology. Every time I interact with students and give them a positive experience in engineering, for us specifically with additive manufacturing, they then are able to take that technology to any company that they might end up in and say, hey, whatever process we're working on has these inefficiencies, these problems can be solved with this technology.
Industrial engineering is really big in human factors, but it's not just for industrial engineering, it is for every field, for every engineering or STEM field. You know, the core is the human.
Whether that be through providing clean drinking water to people who don't have it, or creating transportation networks so people can get from place to place, or designing buildings so that they withstand the forces that they're exposed to. All these things are really the things that sort of keep society functioning.
If I can just make something 1% better, that has the opportunity to affect hundreds of thousands of lives.
Don't come into this field with an idea of what you think an engineer has to look like, because I think that it can look like whatever you want to make it look like.
Anything is possible. We have to encourage our young generation to keep their options open and do something that they love to do.
And so thinking about how 35% of women are in our STEM fields and graduate, how do we set them up for success?
The Women in STEM at Allied Health Conference, it is open to our entire student population. So we did have male attendees, and what they remarked is they found an increased awareness of some of the challenges that women in STEM face.
Always advocate yourself and others. So make sure that you show yourself and your abilities to the others and support other women.
The more collaboration, I think, the better. Whether it's small, whether it's big, the more people, even if not collaborating in a guest speaker or on a panel or in the networking sessions, just attending it, that builds more of the connection.
So it's wonderful to hear those conversations with student attendees after the fact, that, they were so excited to make 5 connections, 10 connections, and have opportunities. And, our industry mentors have been terrific supporters of Oregon Tech students. Some of those industry mentors had worked in the field for 10, 15, 20 years. And we actually had an individual say, kind of the most impactful moment for us was, gosh, I wish I had an opportunity of a conference like this 20 years ago. And just to feel the warm hug that I feel in this room, I really felt like we were bringing students together and building a community from that conference.
Coming to Oregon Tech is a transformational experience that can truly change the trajectory for people's lives. And so our students are able to go out into the world and be successful, and they're also then in a better position to give back to their communities and to the world. It's a ripple effect, and if we can start that ripple here, then it'll reverberate far and wide.